Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Preston Endress. Fire crews from Luzerne and Columbia counties responded to a structure fire on Scotch Valley Drive on Tuesday. According to officials, crews were called to the scene around 8:30 p.m. for reports of a structure fire endangering a home. Upon arriving at the scene, crews found a fully involved woodshed stacked full of firewood. Additional tanks were called to the scene, and a backhoe was used to break down the wood piles and clear debris. The scene was cleared around 11 p.m. Firefighters from Beaver Township, Catawissa, Nuremberg-Weston, Sugarloaf, Bloomsburg, and Main Township all responded to the scene. The county-wide burn ban in Luzerne County has been lifted. The burn ban was originally implemented on November 8th to extend until December 9th due to dry conditions throughout the state. However, the Luzerne County Council voted unanimously to lift the burn ban on Tuesday after the county received a large amount of rain and snowfall last week. Although the burn ban has been lifted, residents are reminded that lingering drought conditions remain in some areas and that wildfires can occur at any time. The Can Do Community Foundation is kicking off their annual fund drive. This year, contributions to the drive will support enhancements to Firwood Music Camp and Drums. One of the planned enhancements is to add a new walking trail complete with the educational kiosks about the history of drums and Firwood. In the past, the annual fund drive has helped to fund community projects such as transforming Can Do Community Park in Hazleton and adding a band shell and sensory room to Firwood. This year, the foundation is participating in the All One Charities Day of Giving on Tuesday, December 3rd. On that day, donations made will qualify for matching funds and other incentives. To contribute, you can visit the All One Charities website at allonefoundations.org/all-one-give-day. Coming up on WYLN News, the annual tree lighting at the Luzerne County Courthouse is right around the corner. Plus, PennDOT provides tips for safe travel this Thanksgiving holiday. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute and the region's only nationally ranked hospital for orthopedics by U.S. News and World Report. Our team is ranked among the top 20 in the nation and is your unrivaled partner for orthopedic care. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho.
Hi, my name's Haley. I'm 4. And the weather tomorrow is going to be snowy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
It's Winterfest at the Bloomsburg Fair. Enjoy holiday fun the 2 days after Thanksgiving. Friday, November 29th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday, November 30th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Shop over 250 craft vendors, including local wineries and distilleries inside 5 fair buildings. Meet Santa, who arrives Friday night via the Seven Mountains Media Parade of Lights that ends at the fairgrounds. See a puppet show, enjoy the chili contest, participate in the Fa La La 5K while you enjoy live entertainment, free admission, and free parking. Details on the Bloomsburg Fair Facebook page.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
Contact Pete Casalica for a home and auto quote today.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hey everybody, this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Jillian Richmond's story. Local teacher, 4 years of migraines, numbness down her right arm. Doctors are not helping her. She comes to a chiropractor and she's getting better. Tune in for her story.
Welcome back to WYLN News. A man is wanted by state parole for absconding from supervision. According to officials, Daniel Engroff was on supervision for charges of burglary and receiving stolen property. He is believed to have ties to the Lehighton area. Anyone with information regarding Engroff's whereabouts is asked to contact the Carbon County Sheriff's Office at 570-325-2821. Luzerne County will be hosting their annual tree lighting ceremony at the Luzerne County Courthouse on Monday, December 2nd. The ceremony is open to the public and will begin at 5 p.m. in the courthouse rotunda. The evening will feature opening remarks from Luzerne County Manager Imelda Crocomo, as well as musical performances by the County Controller 4 and the Wyoming Valley West Middle School Spartan Singers. Santa will also be making an appearance. The Luzerne County Courthouse is located at 20 North Pennsylvania Avenue in Wilkes-Barre. PennDOT and Pennsylvania State Police are reminding residents to travel safely this Thanksgiving holiday. During a press event on Tuesday, officials reminded Pennsylvania drivers to wear their seatbelts, drive sober, and eliminate distractions behind the wheel. Pennsylvania State Police will be implementing Operation Safe Holiday through December 1st with a click it or ticket enforcement mobilization. Officials say the goal of the operation is to save lives. Last year, officials estimate that 92% of unbelted occupants in vehicle crashes could have survived by buckling up. Drivers are also advised to allow extra time for travel, especially with inclement weather forecasts in some areas during the holiday. For more information about PennDOT's highway safety efforts, you can visit penndot.pa.gov/safety. Coming up on Whitehaven's News Choice, Chris Foam releases down the path through history with Catawissa Part 3. Plus, we learn some tips for maintaining a diabetic diet on this week's Wellness Wednesday. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
It's Winterfest at the Bloomsburg Fair. Enjoy holiday fun for the 2 days after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 29th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday, November 30th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Shop over 250 craft vendors, including local wineries and distilleries inside 5 fair buildings. Fill your belly with some delicious goodies from a variety of food vendors as you listen to live music. Take a horse-drawn ride around the fairgrounds and get photos with Santa. There's free admission and free parking. Details on the Bloomsburg Fair Facebook page.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35. A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
In 1883, Catawas's St. Matthew's Church hired the Reverend Urian Myers from a parish in Turbotville to be its pastor. 4 years into his term, Reverend Myers decided he needed a horse to assist in his mission to the community. He would subsequently purchase one named Clover from his cousin Edwin Walker of Philadelphia. Clover was rumored to have been a successful racehorse in his younger days. Regardless of his exact past, he would serve as the Reverend's faithful ministry horse for over 30 years until Reverend Myers' retirement in 1919. At the time, he and his wife were hard-pressed for funds, and thus several of his friends, aware that Clover, at a presumed 51 years old, might well be the oldest horse to have ever lived, pressed him to tell their story to the press. He did, and immediately funds for his and Clover's well-being started flowing in. Notable checks came from First Lady Florence Harding, who donated over $100, over $1,700 in today's money, for Clover, as well as Great Britain's King George V and Belgium's Queen Elizabeth. Skeptics expressed doubt that Clover's age was accurate, knowing that 51 years was roughly twice a normal horse's lifespan, although veterinarians who examined Clover agreed that he was of an advanced age. Beginning in 1922, Reverend Myers took Clover on the road, displaying him at exhibitions and special events, including one at Madison Square Garden. Clover would travel in a special railroad car for these special events. Reverend Myers would, though, turn down a $10,000 offer from the Barnum and Bailey Circus, concerned the stress of circus life could be more than his horse could handle in his old age. Clover died on April 27, 1924, at a presumed age of 53. His body would be taken to the American Museum of Natural History for research. Reverend Urian Myers died in 1932. Trolleys became almost ubiquitous in the United States at the turn of the 20th century, and Catawissa was no exception. The Columbia-Montour Electric Railway began service to the town in 1899, created from the merger of two earlier proposed trolley companies. The line's tracks ran through Catawissa as part of a route through Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Danville. It would be renamed the North Shore Electric Railway in 1913 and operate until 1926, when it would be replaced by bus lines. The winter of 1904 was especially harsh on the Susquehanna Valley. The river froze almost completely solid, leaving massive ice chunks nearly 18 feet high. 3 times between January 27th and March 9th, the river flooded when temperatures warmed up. The first 2 floods caused property loss and froze fields and ice. Curious spectators came to Catawissa by train to see the damage, so many that at times local hotels ran out of food, and vendors sold ice-scourged sandwiches. On March 9th, however, the worst flooding began, triggered by a warm-up coupled with heavy rain. Catawissa was heavily flooded, and the Catawissa River Bridge over the Susquehanna was washed away, as would all but one other bridge along the river in Columbia County. Water several feet deep inundated Catawissa, and massive ice floes lay in fields afterwards. It would be days before the trains and trolleys started running again. Ice flows remained into the river until July of that year. It would in fact be several years until the Catawissa River Bridge would be rebuilt, and so during that time, the Mary Ann ferry boat would ply the river to take people across to the opposite shores.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
You will love the feel-good feeling you get when you shop at Grand Central in Nescopeck and Hazleton. You will enjoy a no-pressure professional sales staff, experienced delivery crew, service after the sale,
and don't forget, everyday low prices.
No matter what you're shopping for in your home, we have you covered with top brand names like Flex Steel, Lazy Boy England, and Dillon Custom Rugs.
With our enormous selection and the flexibility to finance interest-free for up to 60 months, Grand Central makes it easy to make your house a home.
FNL Doors, your trusted overhead door supplier for over 50 years, providing quality products and services to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry garage doors from leading manufacturers in the industry like Rayner. They guarantee parts and service for your home or business, from new construction to replacement doors, inspections, and service calls. FNL Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Call 800-344-DOOR or visit FNL Doors online at fldoors.com or visit their showrooms in Hazel Township or Schuylkill Haven. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday, and today I am with Cassandra Davler, who is a registered dietitian, and we're going to talk about, because November is National Diabetes Month, we're going to talk a little bit about a diabetic diet. And Cassandra, I know like carbohydrates have a lot to play in someone who is diabetic. Could you elaborate on that just a little bit more?
Yes. So carbohydrates are essentially sugars, and diabetes is a disease defined as a high blood sugar. And so that's why it's so important to monitor your sugar intake if you have diabetes.
So what type of foods are carbohydrates, for those who may not know?
So there's essentially 3 food groups that count as carbohydrates. That would be grains, vegetables, and fruits. So grains could be anything from pasta, rice, even to oatmeal. And then, of course, fruits and vegetables, especially potatoes, beans, other starchy vegetables.
Is corn also like a carbohydrate?
Yes, yeah. Corn counts as a starchy vegetable.
Okay, all right. So, you know, how do we strategize what carbohydrates and like how do we manage that intake of those carbohydrates as a diabetic?
So there are a few main strategies that people can use with diabetes. The first and most popular would be carb counting. And this essentially is more number-based. It's a way to, of course, count the amount of carbs you have at each meal and snack. And then there is the plate method, which is more of a visual instead of counting. And essentially you want your carbohydrates to only take up a quarter of your plate. And then there is the label reading method, which is just reading the labels and keeping track of your carb intake throughout the day.
Okay. So yeah, that smaller, mac and cheese or potatoes, you just want to make that a little bit smaller. So that makes a lot of sense. That's good thinking. So how do you help manage the blood sugar then?
Yeah, so there are a few ways that people with diabetes can manage their blood sugar in addition to diet. So one of those ways is by checking your blood sugar. So you want to check in the morning before eating anything, that's your fasting blood sugar, and you want that to be below 100 ideally. And then also checking 1 to 2 hours after each meal, and you would want that to be below 140. Although sometimes people with diabetes have higher ranges than that. And then you always want to make sure that you're balancing your carbohydrates with a protein. This actually helps prevent the spike in blood sugar when eating a carbohydrate. And also making sure that you're eating fiber, so choosing whole grains instead of refined grains. This has the same effect as protein, essentially, preventing that large spike in blood sugar. So that would be like choosing whole grain breads instead of white bread, brown rice instead of white rice, things like that. And then increasing exercise can also be very beneficial. Exercise actually helps insulin to tell the cells to take in blood sugar. So the more you exercise, it can hopefully decrease your blood sugar.
So what should you do if your blood sugar falls too low?
If your blood sugar falls too low, then you should follow a rule called the 15-15 rule. And so this rule is if your blood sugar is below 70, then you should consume 15 grams of fast-absorbing carbohydrates. So this could be 1/2 cup of juice, a handful of jelly beans, even like a sugar tablet, something that the body can break down easily. And then you want to wait 15 minutes and check your blood sugar again. And if it's above 70, then you're good. If it's below 70, you want to repeat the rule.
So what is the best way for those who are new diabetics to kind of reach out to someone in order to get some nutritional help? We have those services throughout Lehigh Valley Health Network that they would reach out maybe to their doctor. Their doctor would guide them and help them with that as well, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much the way you go about it. Talk to your doctor. They could give you a referral to a dietitian.
Awesome. Well, thank you for helping those, and thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.